A lotus is a flower rooted in the mud that rises through and above to become a beautiful bloom. This is a podcast sharing mine and other stories of how we've done the same, choosing to rise above our circumstances to bloom. I'm your host, Amber. Let's get started. I'm so excited that you're here.
Me too.
So this book, first of all, this is like one of the main reasons that I wanted to talk to you, because this book is so good.
Thank you.
I loved it. And you've been working on this for a while.
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
Yeah. I remember you mentioning it when I didn't know that it had been that long, because I think maybe like about a year ago you mentioned it to me.
Probably.
And at that point you were in like the final
Yeah.
editing stages, or you had already written it. You were just in the editing portion of it.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
And I was like so stoked. I couldn't wait for it to come out. So when you finally posted that it came out, I was like, finally.
I know.
So yeah, I've been trying to like cruise through it, and it's an easy read.
Oh, good.
I don't feel like it's just really easy to follow and easy to get into.
Good.
I'm not going to lie. So I usually do my reading, obviously, when the kids are asleep.
Yeah.
I actually had some dreams about your book because I would read it before I went to bed.
You're like, what
dreams.
are these weird dreams?
Where am I?
That's so crazy.
Oh, man. So I wanted to ask you, what made you finally decide that it was time to tell this story?
I think, honestly, weirdly enough, in the back of my mind, it was always there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, since leaving the program. Because it was just such a crazy experience.
Yeah.
That I've talked over the years to so many people about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there was just no way to like really show everything without writing a book.
Yeah.
I'd start talking to friends or clients, and then everyone would just be like, what? Like, give me more.
Everybody has all these questions. Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of that because I had kind of shoved it down so far away, because like at first when I got home, of course, it's like, I just want to pretend it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think what re-triggered it was when I got pregnant with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And that all just started to resurface.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's 10 now. So I started writing it when she was, 6? Yeah. So I think definitely becoming a mom was a huge trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, the world needs to know about this,
Yeah.
And I never had gotten a chance to feel my feelings and explain my side of the story, especially to like my family.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was always very one-sided.
Yeah.
So
this was kind of a healing project for you too then.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny that you said that about once you got pregnant with your daughter.
Yeah.
I couldn't relate to that more because there are so many things where with my childhood, and I think we've kind of talked a little bit about that as far as like growing up with parents with addiction and all of that. And there are so many things from my childhood that I just kind of like brushed aside, didn't really deal with, didn't even think that I needed to deal with it.
Yeah. It just seems so normal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, whatever, it's in the past. Like I'm here now, whatever, living my life. And then you have kids and you start to become a parent.
Yeah.
And you start to realize, oh, wait.
It all is like, wait a second.
Yeah.
This
all
isn't
kind of
okay.
clicks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it starts to set the bar for you.
Yeah.
It reminds you of when you start to realize all the feelings that you had about something like that.
Yeah.
And then it sets the bar of, I would never do something like that to my child.
Yep.
Or I wouldn't handle this situation this way.
Mm-hmm.
All while, so you're deciding how to parent. This is for me anyways, that like deciding how to parent while also figuring out how I really feel about something that I haven't acknowledged for
Totally
20 something years.
Yeah. That you probably weren't really allowed to.
Yeah.
And I don't know about your family. My family is more like the super religious.
Yeah.
Kind of just very into the religion type family where it's like you're surrounded by everyone in that religion and there's no one to talk to about it.
Yeah.
And everyone makes you feel crazy for being like the outsider.
Well, and especially because you grew up in Alpine, right?
Yeah.
Which is like very concentrated Mormon.
Ooh, yeah.
So that makes it even harder.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know Utah, like Utah County is Happy Valley, right? Like that's already like Happy Valley, super, super saturated with the Mormons. I mean, the whole state is, but especially like Orem, Provo. But yeah, Alpine is a whole nother bubble of its own.
Yeah.
Because it's like nestled in the mountains. We didn't have a lot of stuff near us.
Yeah.
So we were just far away from everything enough that it was like very secluded, it felt like.
Its own little community.
Yeah.
I feel like I could talk about like the whole parenting thing. I do want to touch on that.
I know.
a little bit.
Just stop me at any point.
No, you're good. What advice would you give someone who has gone through, I know that you guys weren't allowed to exchange information.
Yeah.
But have you gotten in touch with anybody?
So when we graduate the program, when you finish the program, whoever you finish the program with, you're allowed to get their information. Well, really at that point, they can't stop you because you're going home.
Yeah, exactly.
So I did exchange, phone numbers and addresses with pretty much most of the people I graduated with. I had this little book and everyone else did the same thing. And they really discouraged you from like being friends outside the program, right? So which is very weird because you're like going home, you're already feeling really weird. You don't know how to be yourself anymore. Mm-hmm. And then you're not allowed to talk to these people that you went through this really traumatic experience
The only
with.
people who can really relate to you.
Yeah. And so probably maybe a year, maybe 2 years, I can't remember exactly. I called 2 of them. My first one was, I'm trying to think. Her name in the book is Summer. And she picked up the phone and then I said, "Hey, it's Allie from Casa. How are you?" And she just hung up.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And then I had another friend. I think her name's Bailey in the book. Sorry, I changed everyone's names like at the end. Yeah. So it's still like, I'm like,
wait,
who's who? And so I called Bailey and we kept in contact for quite a few years.
Nice.
And then we kind of just slowly lost connection.
Yeah.
But besides that, I haven't talked or seen anyone else. And I'm even on a little Facebook group page that's Casa by the Sea. And there's a decent amount of people on there, but I haven't seen anyone that I went to school with yet.
What do you guys usually talk about in that page without sharing like too much intimate information?
I haven't really, the only thing I put on there was my book, honestly.
Yeah.
And I went on there because people would sometimes just bring up things like, "Oh my God, do you guys remember this food? Or do you remember this?"
The orange rice.
Yeah, like the good and the bad, and which was mostly bad.
Yeah.
If you haven't read, like I talk a lot about food in my book. Like when I finished, I was like, is there too much food in my book? It's like, and I even cut out some because it was a lot of food talking, but it really was a huge part of it. Yeah. But so mostly they're talking about that. Sometimes they'll bring up if someone had passed away, whether it was by natural causes or suicide or anything like that. Like sometimes that'll be brought up, but it's not like a super, super active account, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of stuff posted on it that often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never really even heard of anything like this until it was interesting because we started talking about it. You were telling me that you were writing the book, and then all of a sudden I was hearing about it from, oh yeah, so-and-so. I think I had mentioned it to somebody. Oh yeah, my hair stylist, my hair wizard. That's what I always call it. My hair wizard is writing this book, and it's this really crazy story. And did you know that these exist? And oh yeah, so-and-so's nephew went to one of those in the desert or something like that.
Yeah, that was a big one here. Was the wilderness camp in Utah. Yeah.
So how were they? I mean, I guess this was the early 2000s. Things were a lot more lenient then as far as like getting kids over the border.
Yeah.
And it's I don't
so
know,
weird
like,
to think
wouldn't
about.
that be, I don't know. The whole time I was reading this, and I still have a little bit to go, but the whole time I was reading it, I was just like, imagine if I was in that situation, I would just be like, you kept saying like, is this really happening? Is this really, because I would be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
How is this really happening? And people just think I'm going to some happy camp.
Yeah.
Did you have to tell your parents about, I mean, like, did you ever have that conversation as far as this is what it was really like?
No. They never cared to ask.
Interesting.
They never wanted to. They just, in their mind, I was going to die. That was in their mind. And that's what they had to do.
Your salvation. That's how you were going to. Oh, wow.
So we never, like when I came home, we never talked about like what I really went through. Because they went down there, not to like give away too much of the book, but they came down to the actual program in Ensenada, I think twice.
Okay.
The whole time I was there.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't know if they even came all the way into the facility, right? Because like where they hosted a lot of like the seminars and things for the parents was not on the girls' side. So there was a boys' side and a girls' side.
Yeah.
And the boys' side looked a little bit more like dorms and kind of things like that.
Yeah.
Where the girls' side, it was like we had these long, skinny buildings, which the boys probably did too. I just haven't been there. I still haven't.
Yeah.
But we had pretty much these long, skinny hallways. One on, like a door to go on the left, a door on the right, and there was lined with bunk beds. I think it was like 10 or so bunk beds on each wall, and then another hallway. So pretty much like 20 people or 40 people in a little house, just in rows of bunk beds.
That's so wild.
So yeah.
I'm to the part in the book where they did come down and you're just like so stoked to eat this hamburger and fries.
Yeah.
Like actual food.
Yeah.
And then I got to the part, I had to laugh out loud. I got to the part where you guys are making a list of like expectations when you get home.
Yeah.
Of music you're going to listen to and clothes you're going to wear. And the thing that cracked me up the most was when your mom was like, and your hair. No crazy styles, no crazy hair colors. Yep. And now that's like a thing that
it's literally my identity.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like fun hair and I do hair. I know.
I love it. That was the best. I had to laugh out loud at that.
I know. It makes me laugh too.
So kind of going back to like your parents and their reaction, we kind of touched on this a little bit. So if you feel comfortable going into this a little bit more, I just wanted to talk about like what your relationship with your parents is now.
Yeah.
And their thoughts on the book.
I don't really know where my relationship is with them. The last 2 years, I kind of cut them out of my life. We kind of had like a fight, and I saw a lot of similar things they did to me that they did to two of my siblings, just like the way they treated them and talked to them. And so, you know, being in the middle of writing this book and that happening, everything just felt so clear, you know?
Yeah.
I could just feel like I could see it all. Where before I could kind of just like put it out of my head a little bit, you know, where you think the worst and you're like, no, there's no way, right? You're like, no.
Yeah.
And then over the last 2 years, I've just seen some really, really sad actions from my parents. Just the way they talk to us, they don't at all accept our boundaries. They'll just walk all over them and they're like, why are you mad? I'm just like, because I'm trying to set a boundary with you and you don't care.
Yeah.
You know? And so I finally blocked my dad because it was making me just crazy.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of was this weird up and down, weird communication with them, you know? So pretty much now I hadn't seen them in like a year and a half. And then we had death in the family. So I was like, oh, I have to go to this funeral, you know? So that was the first time I saw them. And then at the celebration of life. And then I had a cousin just get married recently. So a couple events with that.
Okay.
So over the last 2 years, I've probably seen them like 4 times.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the interactions are very weird and very like stiff. Yeah. You know, and like everyone just wants us to sweep it on the rug and just in their terms, heal and move on, you know, and my family is very much like sweeps everything under the rug. And this was kind of me putting my foot down. Like, no, like I want some real answers and I want some real accountability.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten that still in 2 years.
Well, and I think for our parents' generation, it's very much, I don't know, that kids are in a different place. Like kids have their place and parents have their place. And there's no age limit to that.
Yeah.
As far as, okay, well, now that you're adult, now I can respect you as an adult and give you these answers and have this conversation. It's very much like, I'm still the parent. I don't know you anything.
Yeah.
And because it's like the customer's always right type of mentality of like the parent's always right.
Yes. It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's so brutal. And I think, like you said, once you have your own kids, at least for me, I was like, I would never deny my kid their emotions, their feelings. I would never be like, no, you're wrong. You know, like my mom literally told me and my siblings, you had a great childhood. You're fine. You know, get that chip off your shoulder. And it's really hard to hear those things when it's like, you still haven't ever given me a real apology or a real, like any real empathy for what I went through. And supposedly I mailed my parents a book about 2 weeks ago. And supposedly my mom has read it and she wrote me a note, which I was surprised. There was actually some kind of sorry in it.
Okay.
But so it's one of those things where it's like, well, I think that's the best I'm going to get. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm going to be like, we're fine. Everything's great. We're going to have the best relationship now.
Yeah.
But it was just pretty much like, I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm sorry that this was so hard for you. You know what I mean?
No ownership in it.
There was no ownership in it. And I think it was her really trying to validate my feelings, but she doesn't know how without having to be like, I messed up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest part is like, if they were finally like, we see you, we see how much this hurt you and devastated you. And like, you were 15. I'm so sorry. Like, that must have been really crazy.
And so scary.
Yeah. And that's just what blows my mind, because I would never not see that if that happened to my kid.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for them just to be like, this happened so long ago. Like, just move
Get
on.
over it. Yeah.
And so it's like, no, I literally had to write a book to get heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For you guys to actually listen to my story.
Yeah. And I feel like, and you're still not getting it.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, that's okay. I don't need that from them. And I've really, over the last 2 years, grieved the parents that I want and will never have, which is super hard. I'm sure you understand that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's so hard. Because like, that's the hard part is everything I've been doing these last 2 years is me being like, no, I do want a relationship with you, but not like this.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not going to just act a certain way to, you know, have the family look like everyone's happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. It's so exhausting
Yeah.
for somebody else's. I don't know. I feel like you're kind of trying to make somebody else happy while burying yourself, while walking on eggshells all at the same time. And not acknowledging. And there are probably so many things in your life that you wanted to share with them, but realized they wouldn't understand. And so you couldn't.
Yeah.
And so that takes away from the relationship.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. It's tough, dude.
It's super tough.
And like I said, exhausting. That's like the best way I can think of. I think we kind of talked about this one time when we were talking about religion. I grew up in a pretty strict religion as well. Not my entire life. It was always around, but it was like super concentrated from when I was like 10 to almost 19. And I left the religion when I was 19. And my grandma raised me, and I love her. I mean, she was in her 60s and she took on a teenager and she didn't have to.
Yeah.
And she taught me so many great things. But there were a lot of conversations after that where we had to like tiptoe around. I couldn't tell her about certain things that I'd done that I was really excited about, or, you know, new events that were happening in my life, because she wouldn't understand, or it wasn't something that she agreed with or that went along with her belief system.
Yeah. Which is so awful.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to be like my protector, my most empathetic person, you know, your, you know, parent figure.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
When you don't feel like you have that protector. And like, I know for me as a mom, that's all I want to do for my kids.
Yeah.
Is just be like, no. But also the same, I want to hear your feelings. I want to hear your side. I don't want to ever make you feel like you have to be in a box, you know, and have to live a certain way.
Yeah. It's this dance that we're just learning as parents. For me anyways, it's like this fine balance of teaching my kids like what's okay and what's not okay. Like, just because you cry doesn't mean you get everything that you want, or that's not how you get what you want.
Yeah.
But also I want you to feel comfortable sharing your emotions. And also I want you to have the courage to speak up for yourself and know that your words are of value.
It's true. It's a hard balance.
Yeah.
But I think we do have a lot more awareness, which is cool. And I think we're really trying to stop that generation of all of that, what they have kind of implied that we have to do, or who we have to be, or live a certain way. And it's just like, it's not that simple. It's not black and white, you know?
Exactly. Well, and I think our generation is learning. As kids, yeah, that was fine.
Yeah.
But as adults, we're realizing how that's affecting our day-to-day life as an adult, of now we're not speaking up in this situation, or we're feeling ashamed in this situation, or we're just like so many little things or really big things that not being allowed to express ourselves as kids or feel like we could truly be ourselves as kids.
Oh, yeah.
That domino effect that now our generation is like determined not to do that for our kids. And what I love about our generation too is instead of it being like, one of my friends the other day was saying, parenting is so hard, which it is. There's no manual. And I was like, actually, we have Instagram and TikTok.
We have a lot of help these days.
I just feel like so many parents are finally speaking out of like, hey, my kid does this. It's normal.
Yeah.
This is what I found that helps. And another parent is saying, hey, I tried that. And this is what I found that helps. And just normalizing what we're going through with our kids and how to handle it in a way that
it's not just everything's like a punishment or you're bad.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that, especially with my son. He is like one spicy kid.
Yeah.
And like the more I'm just like, the more intense I am with him, the more intense he is with me. You know? Like he's very, very spicy.
That's how my son is too.
So I have to be so calm. And even if he's throwing the biggest tantrum and wants to throw everything across the room, where you're just like, it's really hard. Especially if it's already been a day or it's late at night or whatever. But like, I really have to like, sometimes I'll just walk away, you know, and just be like, it's okay. Feel your feelings. And if he's hurting himself or someone else, I'll stop him. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard.
I actually, this morning I was getting my son ready for school. And we do this thing when he's putting anything that's long sleeve, like his jackets or anything, where he like has his hand in there and I'll go, oh no, where's your hand? Yeah. And he goes, it's right here. And then he wound up and punched me in the mouth. And I was like, I'm not going to fight a toddler today. I'm not going to fight a toddler today.
Dude, boys, I don't know what it is.
For reals.
Jude will do the same thing. And it's always my face. Like, why do you always, can you
punch me in the shoulder or like something?
It's so weird. It's like and I think I've been telling him since he was like, could understand, like you are strong. Yeah. You need to be more soft. Like not you're bad or anything like that, but like you're very strong. Yeah. And he still doesn't get it. And he's
Maybe I need to just try that with Beckett because, that kid has, I mean, if he ever gets in a fight, the other person is probably going to lose because that was a good punch.
I know. It's so true. I'm like, sorry guys, but I know.
Yeah, no, I've actually, I saw this reel on Instagram, I think it was, of when your kids are getting you riled up and you're just like what is it? Like,
it's like getting to you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like overwhelming.
Yes. To take a step back. Yeah. And I remember reading that and being like, how are you going to know to do that? It is such a conscious effort. But the first time I ever did it, so I told Beckett I was just getting overstimulated. That's what it was. So overstimulated. And I told Beckett, I was like, I am feeling overwhelmed and I don't like the way that I'm talking to you. I feel like I'm being mean and I don't like that. Yeah. So I'm going to step into the other room for a couple minutes. And he thought he was in trouble. And I was like, you're not in trouble.
He's like, what?
Yeah. What did I do, Mom? And I was like, you're not in trouble. I just need a couple minutes so that I can calm down. Yeah. So that I can make sure that I'm talking to you in a nice way. And I'll be right back.
It's so hard.
And it is so hard. Because literally you want to be like,
yeah. Why can't you just get this?
I know. And like shake them. But so I went to the other room and I came back. And I think the fact that me doing that made him realize, oh, something's going on here. Yeah. And he had a shift and I was calmer. Yeah. And literally just like went in the bathroom and scrolled and watched a couple videos on Instagram or whatever and came back out. And there was such a mood shift for both of us. He came over and hugged me and I said the exact same thing that I had been saying 15 times, but this time he listened to me. Aww. So it was like
perfect example.
It's just like those little things that I feel like we're more aware of as parents.
Oh, for sure. Whereas before, I think about if there was a situation like that, like it would just be like, you're in trouble. Go to your room. You know what I mean?
No explanation. No. You just shouldn't have done that at the end. But
that's what was really hard with me and my parents was the discipline, you know, was always very extreme. I felt like, like, oh, you're going to stay home from church today. Well, then you're not going to be able to do anything for the rest of the week. You're grounded or you're grounded tomorrow, whatever it may be, you know? Yeah. When it's just like, I just don't want to go, you know? Yeah. And I remember too, like in the church, what was it called? I'm trying to think. Pretty much like free will is a big thing that they said you have a choice in like the Mormon religion, right? Yeah. And I'd use that all the time. Like, well, this is my choice. This is what I want to do. Yeah. But I would always get like the harshest punishment from my parents for it, you know? So you're like, so I don't have any choices. I have to do what you say, you know, like that's where I went. Yeah. And I really struggled with my parents because they always would say, because I said so. And I was like, no, it's not good enough. Yeah. Like, I need to understand why. Like, what are you worried about? What are you concerned about? Like, give me some actual communication, you know?
Well, and it's like,
and it was never like that.
If you communicate. It's with any human being, but especially with kids, they're learning. They want to understand how the world works.
Yeah.
And if you're telling them, I don't want you to walk along this edge because there's a cliff on one side.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure about your balance right now. Like maybe you should get down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of, as a kid, you think, well, why are you spoiling my fun? I don't understand. You just don't want me to have fun.
Yeah. Or just ripping them off the edge and then yelling at them and just saying, you can't do that.
Anything. Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
So there are 6 of us total.
Okay.
I'm number 4. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay. Are any of them still involved with the church?
So my youngest 2 are not.
Okay.
My brother right above me is kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Okay.
Mostly out, I would say. And then my other oldest brother and sister, they are. Okay. So pretty much 2 out of the 6.
Half and half.
Yeah. So.
What are your older siblings' perspective as far on your book or you telling your story? Or did they ever ask any questions because you were just gone?
I know. So they were like out of the house when I was gone, right? Okay. So they were already in college. So pretty much it was my older brother and then my 2 younger siblings that were living at home. The 2 oldest they were already off to college. So they weren't really around for it,
Okay.
So I don't really know their perspective and I'm not super close with them.
Okay.
My oldest brother lives in Florida and he moved back. He's been there for a long time. So we just have never been close because of the age gap, because of him moving.
Yeah.
But we've been talking a little bit and I was like, well, I'll mail you a book if you want to read it. And he's like, yeah, mail me one. So I mailed him one a few weeks ago. So I know he's reading it. My sister, I haven't even said a word about my book to her. And I see her here and there because our kids kind of play and birthday parties and such.
Yeah.
And I just kind of have kept her, I don't want to say at a distance, but I haven't really said anything to her because she's like very much in the church.
Okay.
And then close with my parents.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, I don't want to make you feel like you're in the middle. If you want to ask me questions, go for it. But I'm not going to bring it up. You know what I mean?
It's nice of you to do that.
So I'm kind of just like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what her thoughts at all are. 0. I haven't heard a word. And then my other older brother that's here, I gave him a book. I haven't heard yet if he's read it or not. And then my 2 younger siblings, I think, have finished and they've given me really good feedback. They've probably been the most supportive through this whole thing.
Yeah.
And the most just understanding and just kind because it's been really hard, to be, I feel like I've always been like kind of like the family scapegoat,
Yeah.
So it's like, I've always had them to go to and be like, is this crazy or are they crazy? And they'd be like, they're crazy,
They've been like your censor or whatever. That's so funny. I mean, well, so you were in the program for how long was it?
So almost 14 months.
14 months. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so did your siblings ever ask you, like, so you were gone for almost a year or a little over a year, almost a year and a half?
Yeah.
No,
not really.
Was it just like you came home and it was just like
so weird?
Nothing.
Yeah. The whole experience was just weird. I think my 2 younger siblings were just young enough that they just were like, I don't know what's going on, because my younger sister or sibling, they were probably 5, 6, so pretty young.
Oh, okay.
And then my other younger brother was probably around 10. So, old enough to, and I have talked to him, like, what was your experience? And really what I've got from them was like, they just don't remember a ton of it.
Yeah.
They just remember I was gone one day and that mom and dad said I was gone, like at a boarding school or something, like kept it very chill. Right.
Yeah.
And then my other brother that lived at home, I haven't really asked too much about it, but I kind of feel like he's the same. Like he doesn't remember a ton about it. I kind of feel like everyone just kind of like shoved it away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Went about their lives.
Yeah. Because it was such a weird experience for all of us, for sure.
Did you know anybody else like in your community that had gone through anything like that? Or have you met anybody since that's gone through something similar to that?
There was one person, you'll find out in the book, that they ended up having like an 18-year-old program towards the end of my program that they were just opening. And when I was on the upper levels, which means I have more privileges, we were doing like this little, what did we call it? Just pretty much like kind of like a PE activity. So we were running around the facility. We had a little bit more privileges so we could go into certain areas. and we passed the 18-year-olds, we still couldn't talk to him. Like we weren't allowed to look at the boys or talk to him, even on upper levels, no matter what. And I saw this guy as I was running by, and he was from home. And I was like, what? So it was a trip because I think I'd been there like 8 or 9 months. I can't remember exactly when, but so he was there. But I don't think I've ever talked to him since.
Yeah, to see.
He was just kind of like in our friend groups. He wasn't like my good friend or anything.
Yeah.
And then I did have another friend that went to the wilderness camp. He actually ran away from it and went home. He was actually like, really awesome. Out. And then there was a few other people that kind of went to a couple other little treatment centers here. But that's what's kind of crazy. And I still don't know the answer to. I haven't asked my parents is why Mexico? Like there's a lot of programs. There's a lot of places here in Utah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And a lot of them were kind of like the wilderness program type things. So they weren't super long. And then the one that Paris Hilton went to, I don't know if that one was open when I went. I haven't looked at like the same years or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's very strange because there's been a lot around here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My cousin, I remember, I think I was like maybe 7, and she is 2, 4, 6, 8 years older than me. Mm-hmm. So she was in her teens, and I remember she went to a program, and it was here in Utah that was similar to that.
Oh, yeah. And my cousin, she went to a similar program, but in New York.
Okay.
So I think it was like a sister program to mine. And they had one like at the time they had one in New York, in Sonora, Mexico, Jamaica, and Costa Rica, supposedly. I haven't ever really deep dived to Costa Rica or Jamaica.
Yeah.
But they used it as like a threat in Mexico. Like if you're bad, like you're going to get sent away.
Send you off.
We'll send you to Costa Rica or Jamaica. Like it's way worse there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Because obviously,
that's interesting.
I'm a runner. The first part of my book is me running away.
Maybe that's why they chose Mexico.
That's the only thing I could think of is like they knew how stubborn I was and how like I would probably try and escape if I could.
Yeah.
So
they knew you a little too well.
Yeah, they knew me too well.
So a couple things. One, what advice would you give for somebody who is going through? Because sadly, it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Where there are so many kids who are in conflict with their parents, whether it's religion or their lifestyle to some aspect. Mm-hmm. From your personal experience, what words of wisdom would you give, or something that would have helped you get through that if someone had talked to you about it?
I mean, I think the best thing that helped me is I had really good friends that I was really close with. So find your humans that get you and support you for you. Mm-hmm. Like that's my best advice. And luckily, even at a young age, I had a really good group of friends, and I'm actually still friends with them.
That's awesome.
And so I think if you're not feeling that support and love and empathy within your family or your parents, like go find it. You need to find
your chosen family.
Yeah, exactly. Go choose your family, because you're just going to be miserable if you're just trying to be happy with them when they're not accepting who you are, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, over the years, I've tried to just, you know, be part of the family, do the family thing. And my parents know I don't want to be part of the religion, but they never asked me why. They've never asked me any questions about who I am, really, you know, which is really sad. And so I just kind of finally got sick of listening to them and doing what they want, whether it's just like going over for Christmas, but then having to like do their prayer, do their scripture, do their religious thing, you know, even though it's like, I don't want to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And I can respect you enough if you want to bless the food, that's fine. But like they always would just take it too far, you know? So I think my best advice would just, find your people. And it's okay if your blood isn't working for you. Like, you don't have to be in their life just because you're blood related, you know?
Yeah. I think that's been a huge thing for me too, is because some people will use blood is thicker than water. What about your family as like a guilt trip?
Oh yeah.
And it took me a long time to be like, no, like we're humans. Mm-hmm. And if I had a friend who was treating me this way, like that doesn't make you exempt from treating me like a decent human being.
Exactly.
Just because we're related. If anything, you should be held to higher standards.
Totally.
Because you should love me, you know?
Unconditionally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about what words of wisdom, or has anybody said anything that has helped you through this whole struggle with your relationship with your parents? I mean, you said find your people.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
It's a big one. I think for me, obviously I wrote a book, so I have a lot of people reaching out to me now, which has been cool.
That's awesome.
So I think tell your story, whether it's writing it down in your journals or writing a book or just talking about it to other people.
Yeah.
Because it is really healing to hear other people go, whoa, that's messed up, you know?
Yeah.
Where it was so normalized in my family that even years later, my parents would be like, they would just try and be like, yeah, that's where you need to be. Like, you chose to be there. Just like really harsh words that you're like, you've never sat down with me and communicated any feelings or emotions with me. You know, what gives you the right to say that?
Yeah.
So I think just being able to understand you need to feel like whatever you went through or therapy. I definitely do therapy as well. But yeah, I think just get your story out there, really heal yourself. This book's been so healing because just it's amazing when like a complete stranger can be like, oh my God, I have kids that are the age that you got sent away and they're little shithead teenagers as they are.
Yeah.
And they're like, and I would never do that. So when you hear that from other parents and strangers that can see it more than your own parents that did it to you, it's really validating.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I think too, it's like, excuse me, it's surprising how we kind of have this tendency to think like, oh, I'm the only one who's gone through this, and that shame around whatever experience that you've had, or to make yourself feel like I'm the weirdo, nobody would get me. And it's so wild how when you tell your story, all of a sudden you start seeing all these people come through who've like, hey, I went through that too. Hey, I experienced something similar. And you guys get to relate on that deeper level. And suddenly you realize, like, as sad as it is, that you're not alone though. Yeah.
And it also just even complete strangers that I've had reach out. I'm like, I don't even know how you found my book, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then they're like DMing me through Instagram, like, thank you for your story. It really helped me in this way. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, that's enough, you know, like that's all I needed, is just to hear that my story could help maybe someone else heal, or also help another parent or teen be like, okay, like, we just need to have better communication. We need to talk. Who are you? Tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that was you said that several times in your book, is that's all that you wanted from your parents, of like, they never asked you why you did the certain things that you did, or tried to get to know you, or asked, like you said, why you didn't want to go to church or any of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that parenting really is eye-opening as far as like healing yourself.
It really is.
And trying to figure out your kids too at the same time, while giving them room to be their own person.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying our parents, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Yeah. And I don't think they were perfect, but I feel like it's a lot easier for us to be like, oh, that hurt your feelings. Like, I just remember my apologies from my parents, if I got them, was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll do better. But there was no like specific what you're sorry about. Yeah. And how are you going to do better? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, they were just saying it because they felt like that's what you needed to hear.
It just fell very flat. And so when I got that letter from my mom, I think it just hurt me more than, you know, it helped. Because my husband's like, man, your mom can just sometimes kill you with kindness. Because it's like, you're trying to be so kind and use the right words, but it almost feels more empty. Yeah. You know, which is super shitty. Yeah. Because it's like, I want to hear your apology and I want to believe it, but like, it's really hard to believe it, you know? Yeah. It's been so long since I could believe you or trust you. Yeah. So.
Well, they kind of did like a huge betrayal to start this whole thing. So.
And I don't think they see that. That's the problem, is I don't think they see any of their actions they did. I think they see Allie did this, so her consequence was this. So this is what happened. So you need to get over it because you made those choices that took you there. And it's like, no, I was a 15-year-old and I was suffocated at home, I had no one to talk to but my friends, because everyone else in my life was so religious. They couldn't wrap their head around me being like, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this, you know? And a lot of it, I think, started very innocently like that. And then eventually you're like, oh my God, these friends are so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this was so fun. We drank and I felt so free. It was so great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we smoked a little weed. This was so fun. Yeah. Like, that's what I realized about myself through this book and through all my healing is I just wanted to have fun. I didn't want to be bad or mean. I just was so suffocated and miserable at home. Like, that's what my breakaway was, like, fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
I want to be yourself.
Yeah. And it wasn't even necessarily like, I need to be gone and I need to party and I need to not feel. But it was like, oh, I actually can feel and talk more when I'm around these people, and maybe even when I'm a little intoxicated. Like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think the whole experience was just wild, and I'm just excited for people to hear it. And I hope more people hear it so we can close these places down.
Yeah.
And actually use it as a tool as like, how can we be better parents? How can we be there for our kids more? Like, what are we doing wrong? And how do we just do it better? Yeah. Because I think we still all have a lot to figure out.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's what I was going to say is like, I think it would have been one thing if your parents, like you said earlier, there were so many other options that they could have done that probably would have been more effective.
Yeah.
And not like you were doing anything bad.
No.
But of course, I understand, like, from their aspect, your life was at risk. Your salvation was at risk. Yeah. So I could see how that would be like, yeah, we need to take extreme measures. Yeah. But I think even if it's something as simple as if they would have just said, like, we were doing the best that we knew how. Yeah. We were doing what we thought we needed to. Yeah. Like, that would have been a better apology than, yeah, we did what we did. You need to deal with it.
Yeah. I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah. That's it. You're just like, you don't feel bad? Yeah. You don't feel bad, like, reading this and seeing how it was, like, destroying me and breaking me down and completely just awful, horrible experience, you know? Yeah. That's what blows my mind. And I'm like, did you read my book, Mom? Did you? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Just
because I don't know how you could read it and not be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Right.
What is this place?
I know. It's very weird.
It's so wild.
But that, again, like, for some reason, my parents, it's really hard for them to see that, or it's just, they don't know that they need to take accountability, that, like, their actions was a huge part of it.
Yeah. Well, and there was no, like you said, there was no explanation in the beginning either. It was just like, literally you were just, okay, then you were, oh, I don't want to give too much of the book, but, like, as far as, like, the next steps of where you were taken and, okay, these people, go with these people. Yeah. There was, like, no explanation of, hey, Allie. Like, they didn't even sit down and be like, hey, Allie, just so you know, we feel like we've done everything. Da, 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 da. We love you. It was like, here's your snacks. Bye. Yeah. Yep. And then you were just stuck in there.
Yeah. Well, and, like, that's the other thing I was hoping would hit home for my parents or my mom. I don't think my dad will ever read it, which is fine. But is that, like, I was so mad at them and so miserable at home. I was okay to walk away from them without even begging, without even crying, without even screaming. Yeah. I didn't want to go home. Yep. I hated it there, you know? It was like I wasn't seen. I wasn't heard. I couldn't do anything I wanted. It was just always so extreme that, like, it literally just made me insane.
Did you, when you were taken to the facility, did you think, like, oh, I'm just going to juvie, or I'm...
The only thing I'm trying to think. It'd probably been a few months of where I was really, like, exploring and partying a little bit, right? It wasn't super long. Yeah. And, like, there was a moment where my grades were slipping and I was coming home late for curfew or whatever, like normal teenager bullshit, right? Yeah. And I just remember my dad being like, you better, like, get those grades up and, like, stop doing this and that, or you're going to go to Mexico. Like, he said that probably a few times.
But, so, like, they had probably already done research on this place and had it in mind.
So that's what's so weird is, like, there was definitely it was on their radar.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that started or how or who or what.
That's the thing too. So when you ran, you were only gone for
like 2 days,
yeah.
3 days. Yeah.
And for them to like get the ball rolling and all the paperwork filled out.
Oh, I'm sure they already had it like, okay,
ready
next
to
time,
go.
Yeah. Next time something happens, we'll call you when we're ready. Or maybe it was already on their agenda that week and it just happened to work out.
Do the laundry, get Allie into this crazy program in Mexico.
Put it on the to-do list. We'll make it happen. Because you're right. It did happen so quickly.
Yeah.
And it was wild. But I think that's the hardest is just like, they don't see any of their actions being part of it. It's like everything I did was wrong.
It was all you.
It was all me.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind.
Yeah. That's frustrating.
I know. It's crazy.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I know. And that's what's so cute is like actually my mother-in-law, she read it and she was so sweet to me because they actually have a younger daughter and she had been a couple treatment centers here locally.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing for their youngest daughter as well. She struggled with it and we've talked about it together. But the empathy and amount of emotion that my mother-in-law gave me was astonishing, was amazing.
Yeah.
She was like, I just feel horrible for you guys. I cannot believe you went through that. Like things that you would say after reading a book like that.
Yeah.
So that happened before I got my mom's letter. So I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I was almost like, oh, don't cry. It's okay. Because I'm not super emotional about it anymore. I've wrote about it. I've talked about it so much that it really takes a lot to be like, okay, this is hitting my emotions.
Yeah.
But she was really hitting my emotions because of the amount of empathy and understanding I was finally getting.
Yeah. That validation.
As like a parent figure of like, you're not crazy. This was shitty. This was horrible.
And I think it's one thing to have that validation from your friends, but when you get that from a parent figure, it's like that hug that you've been waiting for.
Totally.
I feel like, so with my, I had left the religion that I was part of I think I'd been out for like 10 years. And the fact that I didn't officially get excommunicated was a big loophole. And I kind of did that on purpose because then my old friends could still technically talk to me.
Gotcha.
My grandma could still technically talk to me.
Gotcha.
Whereas if I had been officially excommunicated and if I would have stepped foot in any of the churches again, it would have been real quick, pull you in the back and make it official.
Yeah.
And, one where they would have known me anyways. If they didn't know me, they wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But, and so that was a loophole for a really long time for my grandma to still be able to talk to me.
Interesting.
And then I think that there was some talk at church or something happened. She called me out of the blue. I had a trip planned to go see her and she called me out of the blue one time. And this was the first time where she straight up asked me, are you ever going to come back to the religion again?
Really?
And before it had always been this, like, I wish you would. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, maybe. Well, I still believe this. And we just really danced around it. But she straight up asked me, are you ever going to come back?
Dang.
And I was like, oh, God.
I was not ready for this right now.
No, I don't think I will. I just know too much now. I can't ever go back to that. There are a lot of values that I appreciate from it. But no, I can't. And she said, okay, well, then I can't keep communicating with you.
Wow.
And she pretty much like cut me off and I was like, Grandma, I left 10 years ago.
Wow.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, it's just, the times are getting more serious and it's more important now that I show my faith and blah, blah, blah. And I went through this whole roller coaster of emotion in this one conversation and it was heartbreaking, like to the point where I had to call in sick the next day because I was just like
I bet.
so devastated.
Yeah.
And I remember my mother-in-law came over later that day and she could tell I'd been crying.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even talked to my husband, Ben. We weren't married yet, but I had just texted him about it. He wasn't home for the day yet. So my mother-in-law comes over and I'm talking to her. And so this is the first like human face-to-face that I'm talking to about this.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's the matter? And I tell her and she just started crying.
Aww.
And it's the same thing as your mother-in-law where she was just like, I don't understand how a parent could do that to their child.
I know.
And it was that validation, that hug and love that I needed from like the mom figure.
Yeah.
And at the time, like my grandma's very much my mom figure. My mom is too, to a certain extent, but like she was very absent for a lot of my life.
Gotcha.
And so in a lot of ways, sometimes she's a mom figure. Most of the time it's more of almost a sibling.
Interesting.
Figure.
Yeah.
Especially because like we were raised by the same woman.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it was really nice to have like that mother figure who had the stability that I had always wanted to also be like
and empathy.
Yeah, and empathy to be like, you didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
And I could never do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I wasn't a mom then, but as a parent now, there are so many times where I think back to different things that either my grandma or my mom did, and they did it out of what they believed or what they were going through.
Yeah. And
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's so many times where I'm just like, noted.
Mm-hmm.
I could never, I don't care what I mean, unless my child like goes on some murdering rampage, I'm probably going to be like, listen, that's not right.
Yeah.
Please stop doing that.
Yeah.
But like,
totally.
I don't know what else they could be doing in their lives where I would be like, I can't talk to you.
Yeah. You're cut out of my life.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't want to be a part of your life anymore.
Yeah. It's especially when it's just like from different beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like me cutting my kids out of my life because they don't want to be vegan.
Yeah.
I would never. They like we eat mostly vegan at my house.
Mm-hmm.
But if my kids want other things, I buy them.
Yeah.
I make them. Like been making my daughter eggs for the last year or two. And the first time I made her eggs, she's like, Mom, you're really good at this. And I'm like, well, I wasn't vegan my whole life.
I know how this is done.
I know how to cook. So, and I think that's been the coolest thing with my kids. It's just being like, no, like this is what oh my gosh, I'm the worst. This is what I want to do and I believe.
Yeah.
And this is why.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you have to do that.
I love that you explain it to them too.
Yeah. Totally.
That's awesome.
I want them to understand, what you're eating, whether it's health benefits or if it's an animal or whatever it may be, you know? And same thing, like I was talking to my brother the other day about like drinking and stuff like that. He's like, well, what would you do if your kid was 15 and drinking? I was like, I don't think it's going to happen because we've normalized drinking so much in our household that we'll be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a drink? Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah. There's not that draw of like, ooh, what's this thing that we don't talk about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas like my parents were like, I don't think either of them have ever drank,
Yeah.
And it's like in their minds, like if you drink, you're an alcoholic. If you smoke cannabis, you're addict.
That's so
and
funny.
so it's just like, and I knew these things as 15 years old. That was not true, you know, being in this little bubble of Utah. But I was like, but that's not real.
Yeah.
But that's incorrect.
That shows, though, I have to commend you on that. Because like even at a young age, I think that shows that you're what's the term? Just like way ahead of the game to recognize that, to see the outside picture.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was like, now to be fair, when I was part of the religion that I was in, I was super involved.
Yeah.
And I did choose it. I don't regret being a part of it. It played a huge part of in my life and who I am.
Yeah.
I chose to be in it, but I also chose to be out of it. I mean, I chose to a certain extent.
Right.
It was,
you still have a little bit of that pressure from family.
Yeah, exactly. But I did enjoy it while I was in it until I didn't anymore. Like I felt like I kind of outgrew it.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to think, did you ever see that movie, The Village by M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes.
That's exactly what I thought of, is like when I was leaving, I was in the process of starting to think like maybe there's more to the world than this religion. And that movie came out and I was like, I remember one of my friends who was also kind of experimenting and he's like, Amber, it's like that. And I was like, it is like that. Oh my gosh. And you get out and you realize like, oh wait, I'm normal.
Yeah.
I'm not the weird evil child who like needs God in my life to come and save me in extreme measures. Like, I'm a mild case.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's wild to like still look back and know like what they think. And I'm like, wow, it was not that crazy. You know,
not at
it
all.
really wasn't. And it made sense. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I cannot get my kids to leave my house. Like they're so comfortable at home.
Yep.
We enjoy each other. We play games together. We do everything together. Like literally, I'm like, go play with your friends. Go do something. Yes. Where I was the kid, and I am a very social person anyways, but I didn't want to be home. I think because of how social I am, but also because I was so unhappy at home.
You couldn't be yourself there.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks volumes too. Like,
yeah.
How cool is that though?
Yeah.
To like compare the two and be like, I get to create this for my kids.
It's true.
This huge contrast, this life that I wish I would have had.
Yeah.
I think that all the time because there are so many things that were missing in my life. And I even just something as simple as like, my kids are going to grow up in the same house for like a really long time until we decide to move. But like, we have a house. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, just little things like that I get to look at. And I just think it's cool when you take a step back and you're like, how rad is this?
It's very cool. I think the same things all the time. Like, I'm going to create a relationship with my kids that I never got to create with my parents.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And just have everything open. And I'm always like, hey, it's like, talk to me. What's going on? I'm always questioning them and asking them things. They're like, Mom, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Doesn't mean anything.
I don't need to talk about it. So it's just, we get to create what we never had and hopefully much more. And it'll be so cool.
That's so awesome. And be the parent that you needed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool.
And hopefully we'll all just heal along that way and just get better.
I know. The next generation will hopefully have less to talk to their therapist about.
Hopefully, and they can just run with it and just enjoy life. Because that was my biggest thing with religion too, was like, it felt so like, like life sucks. Like you make everything so boring and dramatic and awful and scary and intense, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember, who was I talking to? I was talking to someone about different weird religion things growing up that like kind of stuck with you. And she had pointed out like, how creepy is it that like, at least within the Mormon church, they're like, Satan is all around you. He's trying to get you to do all these things.
That was with my religion too.
And I'm like, that is really jacked up. Like, to be like, oh, okay. So like, is that me or is that like Satan trying to make me do?
Yes. All the temptations and the draw on the pull. And it's like, okay, how much influence do they really have on me?
Yeah. Like that's awful to put in a kid's head.
Right?
Yes.
Then you're starting to second. That's like the beginning of teaching us to second guess ourselves.
Yep.
I never thought of that until just now.
I know. And I'm like, I would never.
No.
It's like, no, it's just our own thoughts and we have control over them. Like, what a difference to tell our kids that at a young age. Like, these are your thoughts. And sometimes they're negative and sometimes they're positive.
And it's okay.
And it's totally normal.
Yeah.
And if it's like gets to the point where you can't get that negative thought out, like let's talk about it and work on it, you know?
Yeah.
Like even my daughter, I'll sometimes like get after her because her and Jude are fighting, you know, and she's older. And I'm like, what happened? And like, stop or whatever. And she's like, there's been a few times where she'll be like, I'm just the worst sibling or I'm a horrible person or something, you know, just something that like, I've never said to her.
Terrible self-talk.
Yes. And I will stop her and I'll be like, no, I never said you were a terrible sister. I never said you were a bad person. I just said, you cannot say those words, you know? And I don't remember the last time she said something like that, but I just remember being like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like end that negative talk, you know? Because I know there's so many people in our generation that are still trying to work on that negative talk because it was like almost put in your head at a young age.
That you're a terrible person if you, or you're failing or you need to work harder because you're not doing it right.
Yeah. And that's awful.
That's so much pressure.
So much pressure.
For a kid.
A kid can barely manage just to do normal life. Don't add all of that on top of it. Jeez.
Like, they're still learning how to tie their shoes. Give them a break.
Yeah, exactly. Don't like, and that was my biggest thing, especially once I was a teenager. I mean, I can't remember exactly when I started being like, this is kind of not, I'm not into this.
Yeah.
But I just remember being like, just all the little things started adding up, you know, like when the church would be like, oh, now you can't have double piercings. Oh, now you can't do this, you know,
it's like
all the little rules.
What does that have to do with anything?
And I think a lot of it, that's what was my problem is I was very much like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You know, so some people that are like rule followers or like that. Yeah. That's why it took them longer to maybe get out of it because that structure was fine for them.
Yeah.
Where it was like completely against my personality. And so that was the biggest fight just because probably not even the religion at first, probably just the rules.
Yeah.
You know, and then as I like started to think more about the like, why do they have these rules or these beliefs? Like then I started to really analyze it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird.
So wild. Well, and I think it's interesting too, because I remember with my religion, anytime there was something little and it was like, well, don't question it because that means you're questioning the whole religion or you're questioning God. And then the other part of it was, well, yeah, it might seem like a little thing, but if you're not willing to follow in the little things and you're not going to follow in the big things, and if you truly trust in God and Jesus, then you'll follow every little thing. And so like this tiny little thing was a test of my faith. So I remember I got my cartilage pierced.
Yeah.
And I did so much research of like, how is this going to affect, like, is anybody going to stumble in their faith if I get this piercing? And like, I went through so much research, but I hid it from my grandma because I knew she would say no. But all of the research that I did said, it's okay if you've talked to people in your congregation. So I remember like talking to all my friends and being like, would you be stumbled? Would this affect your faith? Blah, blah, blah. So I felt like I did all, which is like, it's a cartilage piercing. It's still in my ear. It's not even anything wild.
Yeah.
My grandma found out about it and she was so upset because I'd hid it.
Yeah.
And so I remember taking it out when I was around her. And then I would put it back in at night or when I left the house so it didn't close up. And I told her like all the research that I did. And finally she was like, I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. And she's like, well, actually, you did all of the research and you did everything right. The thing that I didn't like was that you hid it from me. And I was like,
okay,
sure. But I was 18. So I'm like,
I don't really have to tell you.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, random stories, but.
No, it's true. And that was like a lot of it with my family, you know. It was just like all of the hardcore rules, you know, that I just
and all of that stress around it of like all these little steps that you have to take.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. The worst. Well, and I think that's the biggest thing. Anyone that's in like a really strict religion, you can kind of see there's like this box that they kind of make and like the steps to stay in that box. And I just never was okay with that. I never fit that like cookie cutter molds. Like I just didn't like that.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing too, is like, I liked feeling different. I liked feeling unique.
Yeah.
I liked having my hair different, you know?
Yeah.
And that was really hard for my family, which is hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for, like, I kind of get it, but it's just hard for me to even comprehend.
I know.
Because it's just like.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?
And I mean, I get with your kids and with your family, obviously, like you want them to grow up to be decent human beings and to be kind and to stand up for themselves and have all of these things. But when it comes to the world in general, if people are doing things and it's not something that I would do, still, who cares? It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
It's just like, are you happy?
Yeah.
Great. Are you hurting yourself? No? Great. Are you hurting anybody else? No? Awesome. Do it.
That's fine.
That's all that matters.
I agree. I agree.
The end.
And I think the nice thing about living in Utah now is that there is a lot of growth here happening and a lot of people seeing so much. Like, there's a lot of people leaving the church right now. It's pretty crazy.
It's
like
wild.
I've had clients and friends that I thought would never leave the church, and they all of a sudden started talking to me, like while I'm doing their hair especially. And I'd be like, wait, what? You're questioning things?
Yeah.
You've been doing what? You know, like, it was very surprising.
Yeah.
But that is one cool thing. I am so lucky that I'm a hairstylist because I get to create a really safe place for people. And I love hearing everyone's stories.
I feel like cool. I think I've told you this before. I'm like, I feel like you're my like mini therapist. I come in for an hour. I'm like, here's my session.
Definitely, for sure. You get a little mini therapy session for sure.
And a makeover at the same time.
Yeah. It's like 2 for 1. It's pretty good.
Exactly. Totally
when
worth it.
You know, when your hair feels good, it makes such a difference.
It totally does.
It's crazy.
Such a mood shift.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So anyone that doesn't get that, go find a good hairstylist.
Know, right?
You haven't found your hairstylist yet.
Exactly.
Because it should completely change how you feel. It's you know, mood. Whether it's like a bang trim or a full color shift.
You come out and you're just like, I feel great. I feel refreshed.
So true. But no, it's weird that I stumbled into doing hair because it totally makes sense for me.
I know.
You know?
But that's what I was going to say when I read that. I'm like, this was it.
I know.
This was the moment.
So crazy. So
I love that though.
Yeah.
That's good. So I do want to, if people want to get a hold of you or they want to order the book, do you want to go ahead and plug those?
Yeah, definitely. So you can get on Amazon and then you can also get on Kindle. And then my self-publishing company is Book Baby, and it's the Book Baby Bookshop. And that link is actually in my bio on my Instagram, which is Allie, what is it? AllieBurton.hairart. And trying to think what else. I think you can get on iBooks. I'm doing an Audible.
That's what I was going to say. You're working on an Audible too, which I'm super stoked about.
It's recorded. My husband's just been really busy. So I'm hoping when he gets back from this next trip, we can hopefully edit it, because I'm sure I'll need to do some more fixing on my whatever, because I just kind of read it. And so we just got to go through it and edit it all.
Yeah, that's exciting, dude.
Don't wait if you want to read it now, just buy the book.
Yeah,
because I'm not really sure how long it'll be.
Well, and like I said, it's such an easy read. So I forgot to say, it's called Code of Silence, Surviving Casa by the Sea by Allie Burton. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for supporting me.
Of course. I would always support you. You could make a coloring book and I'd be like, I'll buy it. And color all the pages. Oh, I love it. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. If you liked what you heard, please remember to subscribe and go leave a review on Apple Podcast. It helps me know what you want to hear and who I should have as a guest next. Thanks again, and until next time, keep living the life of a lotus.